Hello guys, Appa here. Today we will be playing a bit more of Pauper. Today we will be playing a bit of a brew I had going, and I never played this deck, I'm just testing it out, but I'm so hyped for the idea of the deck, which is what I believe to be very interesting and also kind of a fun one. So let's just jump right into the Decktech and see what the deck does. So first off, we're a mono blue reanimator deck, and for this we're playing a bunch of islands, of course, Suppress and Scary as additional ways of having a bit of ramp. Since this can tap twice for 2 mana, it's going to be very important for a jump in mana that we need. Then we have Simian Spirit Guide. If you have the money, you can play Lotus Petal, but I think, pretty sure that Simian Spirit Guide is going to be more or less the same thing. It doesn't produce blue mana, which is a bit bad, but still we need a colorless jumping mana, so I'm playing the Spirit Guide. But you can play Lotus Petal if you have it. And then we have the package of Brainstorm card draw with Brainstorm, Mental Note, and Thought Scour. The idea of this is that we can mill whenever we want with Brainstorm and Mental Note, and that hopefully puts the fatties we want to reanimate in the graveyard and the cards that we want for reanimating the fatties in our hand. And that's the idea of these cards. In helping that, we also have Careful Study, which is draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards. And this is a way of having a discard outlet in our hand. That's just 1 mana. It's very efficient. And it's really good in Reanimator if if you don't have other discard outlets. Basically, we need more ways of putting the fatties from our hand into the graveyard, and for that, Careful Study is really efficient. We also have Otherworldly Gaze, which is Surveil 3 with Flashback 2. This is an instant speed way of just filling your graveyard. See it as a way of just putting cleaning the top 6 cards of your graveyard or of your library into your graveyard if you needed to. That's just a lot of selection. It's not card advantage, except if you mill it, of course. So, interestingly, Otherworldly Gaze is another card that you want to discard or mill, so you have access to that flashback, and that's useful. Or if you are on a more aggressive kind of draw, you can just play it from your hand and disregard the card disadvantage of just playing it from your hand for more selection. And I think this card fits really well into this deck, since we want to be playing aggressively more often than not. I don't want to play 4 of them, but 2 seems like a good compromise. Then we have foil as additional discard outlets. You have to discard an island and not a card, and you can counter a spell. This is really important because we want to protect our creatures, and also we want to have discard outlets, and foil does both things really well. In order to play foil, you need to play a lot of islands, which we are. And yeah, the only range in that machine is the Suppress and Scaries, which are not islands. But besides that, we have 12 islands, I think? No, 14. Yeah, 14 islands, so it's a lot. So we should be able to have access to islands and foil to protect our creatures. Then we have what we are going to reanimate, which is Rust Goliath, which is just a 10/10 Rich Trample for 10. And Mirror Share Crab, which is a 5/7 with Ward 3. Additionally, Mirror Share Crab has the channel ability, which is we can discard it from your hand to counter a spell or an ability, which is interesting, unless its controller pays 3. So it's a bad mana leak, but it's uncontrollable because it's an ability, and also puts the crab into the graveyard, so we can use it to reanimate later. A 5/7 with Ward 3 is almost unkillable. It's really difficult for your opponent to answer that. And if they are paying a lot of mana to kill it or whatever, we can just protect it with foil, and that's just going to be game over. Rust Goliath is just the biggest, baddest thing we can reanimate. That's an artifact, and this is important because the reanimation spell that we are using is Arrivian Restoration, which puts an artifact from your graveyard into the battlefield. Now, this is worse than other reanimates because it's 4 mana. But the good thing is that it's in mono blue, and it does work with our plan. This means that we can just be very efficient and very fast with a lot of card velocity to try to fill our graveyard for the restoration. And with Rust Goliath, we are going to be able to close the games quite fast. Similarly, we don't have access to Aluminous Crusher since that's not an artifact, but the Goliath fills a nice role in that place. And the crab is just like a counter spell that also is a cool thing to reanimate, but we're trying to reanimate the Goliath if we can because they skills twice as fast. Then we have a couple of more enchantments to make them a bit bigger. We have Dragon Breath and Dragon Wings. Dragon Wings is gives a creature flying for 2 mana, or you can just cycle it. But when a creature with mana value 6 or greater enters the battlefield, you may return the wings from your graveyard to the battlefield enchanting that creature. So with Rasgoliath, which is 10 mana, and Mirror Chakra with 7 mana, the wings are going to come back. Dragon Breath has the same text of returning from the graveyard. It only gives haste and fire breathing. We don't care about fire breathing because we only have like a couple of Seeing Spirits Guide to brew it a bit, but the idea of the breath is to give it haste, so this kills in 1 less turn. The wings are there because you have, since they have cycling, it's kind of low impact to have in your hand. Sometimes you just cycle it and then later on it gives flying, which is better in defensive positions, in my opinion, than aggressive positions. But it's cool nonetheless. And lastly, rounding up the deck, we have 4 Tolerant Terrors, which is War 2 for a 5/5. You already know this card. This card is one of the well, one of the terrors, one of the threats of the format. It's a 5/5 that normally costs only 1 mana or maybe 2. And this card is really good because it also synergizes well with our Dragon Breath, Dragon Wings, Mill Plan, Foil, everything. So the card is just always going to be really cheap. So this is kind of a plan B, but also just kills the opponent very fast. So in some ways, this is also a good terror deck, right? Additionally, I think that these dragon enchantments could be played in blue-black terror right now, because giving flying to one of your 5/5s is really important for some matchups. You don't have flyers otherwise, and sometimes if your opponent doesn't have flying, then you can just attack in the air, and I think that's really difficult for them to interact with. And the cost of putting like 1 Dragon Wings in your deck is not that high because it has cycling, so it's not that bad. So that's the main deck, right? So what else do you have in this, right? What else does APA have for the deck here? Well, I couldn't resist myself. I had to add a transformational cyborg, so we have 4 Delver of Secrets, 4 Spire Golems, and 4 Counterspell for trading the Argivian Restoration plan with the Rasgoliaths, maybe some of these spells, to just have a bunch of cards that we can put in if we need them. And some Hydroblast as an actual cyborg plan. So basically, if we play Reanimator in turn 1, our opponent is going to bring in Relics of Progenitors and things like that, which are going to impact Tolerant Terror, but they are not going to impact Spire Golems or Delver of Secrets, and that's really important. Counterspell is also always going to be better in post-board battles, because those tend to be a bit longer games, so having 2 mana Counterspell is more impact than having like Spell Pierce, which is the protection spell that we have in the main deck. Because we want to be a bit slower, and that's kind of a thing that happens all the time. And Hydroblast is so we don't lose against mono red, and that's basically the idea of the deck. Yeah, so again, if you have Lotus Petals, change the Simian Spirit Guide for Lotus Petals. Maybe in testing I don't even want the jumping mana, we will see. Maybe we want just 4 Surprise Carrier and more islands, who knows, but I never actually played the deck. I was theory crafting it for quite a bit right now, and I think it looks good, or at least fun to play, so I'm going to play it, of course, not putting any money on the line here, just playing it in the constructed queues, in the constructed tournament practice rooms, and see how they do. See you in a bit. Alright, match number 1 against Geo Wizard. We have the Reanimation, we have the Rasgoliaths, but we have too much thing to discard and no cantrips, so I think this is a mulligan actually. It's close though, but I think that without card selection we can just keep 3 things to discard, so let's mulligan a bit. This is way better. I think I'm going to keep and send either the foil or the Simian Spirit Guide to the bottom. I'm feeling the foil. Now the Surprise Carrier are also a bit expensive. You can change them for more Simian Spirit Guides and Islands if you want to play or test the deck without having the jumping mana. I'm not sure if it's actually good in the deck. I never actually tested, so time will tell. I think I want to do main phase Brainstorm and use Mental Note. We dig 4 deep to try to find our things. Okay, we can mill the Rasgoliath. I probably don't think we need the Simian Spirit Guide, so let's put them back. Mental Note myself. I should have played this island first, maybe, to have Spell Pierce. But what can they do with 1 black mana, right? Just mill 2. Okay, we have a Thought Scour. Do I want to play Careful Study now? I don't think so. I'll play the Suppress and Scary, so if we find their Gideon Restoration, we have access to the mana needed to cast with Spell Pierce backup, no less, on turn 3. That should be a great draw, right? Let's try to get it. I'm seeing a Chainer Citic in my future though, probably. Time will tell. Or a counter spell. Okay. We don't get it. Let's play an island. And I think I just pass with the crab up. And then we can use blind Thought Scour. That will also give me a bit more information about what my opponent is playing. Okay, they are playing Proliferate. So they might be on the combo build or the control build. I've seen quite a couple of brews around trying to be a Proliferate control deck. I've never actually seen it do very well, being honest. I think there might be a way of playing that deck, but it needs a bit of, finding finding good things to do, finding better cards to run the show of a control build. I think that it suits more the combo build. I think that build is a bit better overall. Okay, so they are not playing anything, so I'm just going to Thought Scour me and see what we mill. Hopefully a Dragon Breath, that would be amazing. Seem to have like a negate or something. I don't know if I even protect this Thought Scour, being honest. I think I prefer to just untap and use Careful Study. What did we mill? Oh, we milled the Dragon Breath, that's great. Okay, do I want to do Brainstorm now? No, I think I prefer to just untap and do Brainstorm. Okay, foil is not bad at all. It's good protection. Okay, that's lame. Do I want to have this crab here? I think I mill land and crab. Yeah. Let's play that land, do a mental note. Okay, we have the restoration, but I can't play it with any protection backup, so I'm going to pass the turn. We were very lucky in finding their Gideon Restoration. There was a line where I kept the land instead of the Careful Study, for example, and then we could play Restoration with foil backup. But I don't want to risk it because they might be on a more controlling build, and since they are playing all the land drops, they might, and I don't want to risk it. Okay, let's untap it. Let's play Restoration on my Goliath. This Dragon Breath triggers. Let's see it. Virulent Wound. Sure, I don't care about that. 3 mana, this is the Braskas, whatever. Okay, so it's the control build. I'm going to tap here and do a Brainstorm first. Okay, that's great. We can keep actually like so and do a Pierce, and we have foil backup too. What's rough is that a 9/9 is 1 turn slower. Oh my god, what's going on with the art here? It's white now. What's this? I have no clue what's going on. Okay. Interestingly, the Rust Goliath has prototype, but we can't never cast it. If you have Lotus Petals, maybe, but you never want to. I don't think so. There's a blue prototype, but you need to pay to untap it, and it's a 9/9, so it's 1 turn slower. And yeah, I don't think you want to have access to that. It's like, on top of that, it's like the prototype is not even cheap, it's very expensive, so. Okay, now we foil, Cardinal Land and Careful Study. Yeah, it seems to be the control build, so I was actually correct in waiting a bit. Okay, you play an Aqueduct, we bounce a Swamp. Do I want to play blindly the Thought Scours? I think so, because we might find Dragon Breath into... My opponent is not very happy. Okay, let's see if we can find the... Okay, we found Dragon Wings, which is pretty useless. We have a gaze. So I think I'll play the island here and attack. We can do gaze end of turn, that's nice. If they have another removal spell, which might happen. Let's see. They do have it. No. Steady progress. Sure. That's annoying because it proliferates the -1/-1 counters, but, well, they forgot about that. Though it's the same thing, right? 7, 7, 8, 8 is the same thing, yeah. Okay. Let's see. They are on Dimir control. They probably have a lot of edicts, so I think I'm going to do the bait and switch. Bring those in, remove the Goliaths, the Spirit's Guides, the Restorations, and I don't remember exactly what I needed to remove. Maybe Dragon Breath. Yeah, that was the cyborg that I had. Oh wait, this is 6 mana, so this also triggers with this, right? Though a 2/4 with haste is not that big a deal, so I think this is fine. We could keep like maybe Argivian Restoration instead of a foil or something like that. But I think I want the foils. Yeah, I think I want the foils. That was a great showing of the deck. We were able to play our 10/10 with haste and kill an opponent playing control, so that's interesting. Okay, we have a turn 1 Delver with Brainstorm backup, or sorry, with Spell Pierce backup. Well, it's not turn 1 with backup, but you get the idea. Okay. Let's see if we can... I could also wait a turn for the Delver, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the removal spells cost 3 with Vraska's Fall, and... well, they might have like Virulent Wound, which would be the worst. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, now we can just... play a land and pass. We have Brainstorm, Mental Note with Spell Pierce backup, should we need it. Like, maybe we do Spell Pierce if they go for the Experimental Augury, because that means they are looking for lands, but it looks like they are not. Okay. Let's do Brainstorm. See what we can mill. Okay, the crab is fine. We drew a Delver, so... we can also just draw both things, like put Brainstorm on top. Yeah, we can draw everything. Let's put like this. Draw our card. Play a land. Play a Delver of Secrets. I meant to put them the other way around, but it's more or less the same thing. Problem is, if they have the Virulent Wound, we can't counter it with Spell Pierce, but... okay, cast down. I'll counter that. And we have with that 2 spells. Next turn we can have a lot because we have the Mental Note. And also just... okay, well, let's Brainstorm in response. I don't think I will be able to foil, but maybe. Yeah, I think I'll put both Mental Notes on top. Okay, contentious plan. Go to 2 poison. Let's play a land. Now we can play Delver of Secrets with Crab backup. There is 3, 4, 5. We could try to play the Terror now. Do I want to? Or do I want to hold the Crab? No, I think I'm going to Mental Note. Oh, this costs... now 2 mana. Let's play it. We could still blind flip, so it's fine. Interestingly, also Otherworldly Gaze goes well with the Delver of Secrets. You can do it in your upkeep because it has, lucky me, play the Terror. If I waited 1 more turn, I couldn't even counter that with the Crab, you know. So I was correct in playing the Terror, I think. Let's see if they can remove it with a cast down or something. Okay, no. That's fine. 3 poison. But we have a Terror. And another one. I probably shouldn't have played that land. The thing is, since we don't have anything in the graveyard, I want to build up for these spells. Okay. So a lot more turns to go, and they could have an edict in any moment here. They seem to be overloading with removal spells like cast down, virulent wound, grim affliction, Braska's fall. Just a removal pile. Okay, let's counter that. And if they have a counter spell, they are out of luck. Though we disabled out all the restorations, right? We could keep a couple. The thing is, it's a bit worse. It's a bit worse when they have an interaction for graveyards and in addition to removal. My opponent is still pretty salty, which is funny. Okay, so we have 2 spells now. Let's heal ourselves again. Okay, now we have a bunch of them. We can play this. And now we have 5 with this 7, so I'll play it since if we draw a Mirror Shell Crab, we can actually hardcast it, which is pretty funny. Yeah, the thing that my opponent is looking at is that since I have few cards, probability of me having the probability of me having a counterspell is low, but the reality of it is that I cantrip a lot. I cast like 2 or 3 brainstorms, so I was able to find whatever I needed, and that's an important truth about these kind of decks. See if they can renew. No, they can't. Okay. And this is 10. Okay, well that was pretty lucky. I'm not gonna. My opponent is valid now. Okay. There we go. Nice. Let's go to the next one. Okay, match number 2 against Pauper Ponderings. I don't know if this is actually the same person, but there was a YouTube channel that I used to watch a lot that was this exact name. I'll see later if that's the same person. Okay, so we have access to Meaning our Goliath and 2 foils. We have Brainstorm Mental Note. That's just a lot of card selection. My opponent mulligan to 6. I really wish it's the same guy. Okay, they start with Bridge. Okay, we have a crab. I'll still mill a foil and a Ruse Goliath. Okay, they are on that deck. That resolves. It's annoying, but it resolves. Now they pass. Let's brainstorm here. Put 2 Goliaths on top. A mental note on my upkeep. We draw another brainstorm, which is not bad, and another brainstorm. Yeah, it's fine. We probably do end of turn brainstorm just to fill our graveyard, try to find things. Unless they cast something I want to foil, which I don't believe there is many things I want to foil here. I might want to do that since we have so many cards in hand, just not fall too far behind. I'm not going to counter that, for example. That I know. Okay. Sure. This is annoying because they gain lives. I don't know if they have too much removal. I will guess most of the removal is in form of bolts and not edicts, but I don't know. Okay, so gaze. I can use gaze on our upkeep too. Let's put these 2 on the top and gaze. This is fine. I'll mill both. Probably keep that, right? We have 4 cards, but we have brainstorm. Probably that's fine, right? Okay, let's play that. As with 2 mana up, we have access to gaze if we want to. I'll check though again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, so maybe I just cast this. I could have cast brainstorm before, but I think I prefer to save it for later. I don't know why I miscounted. I think I didn't count the foil or something. Okay, kitchen imp. Next turn we can reanimate a thing with restoration. Sadly, we don't have any dragon enchantments in the graveyard. I could also wait, but I don't think I want to. And again, I have foil if I draw a land as a backup. So maybe there is that to consider, but I'm not sure though. Okay. Let's see. Interestingly, we don't have any. Oh my god, that sucks. I could brainstorm Gaze to put it in the graveyard. Yeah, that's probably better. So we can do next turn restoration. I mean, that's better because otherwise I should have done that pre-combat in case we drew another terror, but I think it's fine. I prefer to have it for the Goliath. And also this way I can hardcast a foil if I need to not die. Looting, that's annoying, but I don't think I can foil that. I'm probably just going to do Brainstorm Gaze. Okay, that's 6 damage, 8 damage. Okay. We're very close to death. Pretty sure that means we're dead, right? I need to counter one of these. I think I need to. Okay. Yeah, I think I need to. Otherwise we are dead next turn, and I can't block these things because it has flying. Okay, let's put that back. Or I could foil here, or I could grab. If I foil, I have the Dragon Breath in the graveyard for the restoration. I think that's better, so let's put a land on top, or yeah, a land on top, then the restoration, so we do it for next turn. Now we cast foil, it's got the land, it's got the breath. We still have the crab to counter something. Do I want to gaze, or do I want to brainstorm gaze, or do I want to not do anything? What could they have? Like snuff out? Snuff out is awful against us. We just eat it sideways. So yeah, I think I do brainstorm gaze. No, I do gaze brainstorm because we need to find the wings. The wings gives us an out to block, so I need to dig a bit deeper. Okay, graveyard, top, and we do brainstorm here. Okay, just put a couple of crabs on top. True. We hope they don't have anything, basically. Restore this thing. The other play was to play the terror. Maybe that play was better because I had the crab. I think it's if they have like a bolt, it's the same thing. So yeah, maybe that was the correct play, to just play the terror attack for 10 and hold the crab. Yeah, I think so. The clock was the same, but they could have champ block if they didn't have it. So let's see. Okay, so they are flashing back looting. And now they have like 5 outs or something. Yeah, that's enough. Yeah, that's sad. I misplayed. They could have champ blocked anyways, but yeah, that was a mistake. on my part. Hydroblast looks good, right? They probably have Pyros. Spire Golem does block well. Counterspell looks good. Delver doesn't look that good. I'm not going to play Delver. And maybe just cut the Goliaths, Spirit Guides, Study, since we don't need to discard many things. And I need to cut 3 more things. Like a foil, again we don't need to discard, and a restoration for 2. That way we still have restoration for Crab. We still have the Dragon Breath to raise them. We don't need the mana from the Spirit Guide, and this way we have more interaction. And the Spirit Golem is better at blocking. We can also reanimate it if we needed to. It's not what we are planning to do, but if we don't have any other choice, we still have a target. It still works well with Dragon Breath and Dragon Wings. Well, Dragon Wings not that good, but it does work, I guess. And it does block the imps. It's been applied here. Okay, this hand we do keep, yes. Okay, pretty sure they don't play anything useful turn 1. No, maybe like Boldarn Epicure, but I don't know if I hydro that. Okay, nothing. Do I brainstorm? I don't think so. I think I just case. I feel like I should put everything on the graveyard here. I don't need any of this right now. I need more card selection. Brainstorms we already have 2. Another gaze, that sucks. But at least we can maybe later put it back on top with Brainstorm and mill it with the other gaze, and that's interesting line. I'll spell pierce that. So let's do Brainstorm, gaze, and Crab. Spell pierce that thing. The blood tokens are super important for them. It's not the life, it's the 2 blood tokens. And on my upkeep, I could gaze or mental note, but since I know I want both of them on the graveyard, I'm going to mental note. We have Brainstorm again to try to dig for land. Okay, Terror is not bad at all. So now I could gamble to try to find an island, and then play the Terror. What could they have? Like land, Pyroblast, my Terror? Yeah. Let's try to find a land, I think. Okay, scary. And I think I want to mill the Golem next turn. Okay. And that's because we have only 2 lands, so it costs 4. Okay. Now if we drew a restoration, we could reanimate a 5/7, which is whatever. It's still early enough that it will be fine, but it's not that great. At least our threats have ward, so it's a bit more difficult for them to kill them. Maybe they have something like I don't know what they could have, like Smash to Smithereens or something. Okay, Fairy Temper, that's fine. Okay, so next turn I do... Yeah, I want to draw that because it's a counterspell. I play the Terror and pass. I'm afraid of Pyroblast, but I don't know if they actually play Pyroblast. I actually been the numbers. I've seen the number of Pyroblast to be dwindling down a lot, so maybe they don't have it. Now they are passing with all this mana up, so that without casting, looting or anything, I think they have the Pyroblast. What I'm going to do here is to just gaze, I think. I still have my Hydro backup. Okay, I do have only 2 lands, so I think this is graveyard top. No, graveyard top, I think. I think I want my lands. Yeah. Okay, here we see edicts. Okay. I can counter with my crab. It's the only thing I have. Annoying that they have Diabolic Edict and not Chainers. Chainers would have been easier for me to play around. This is very annoying. Okay. Let's draw a land. Yeah, a land. Okay. That's sad. I can't actually draw both things I need, like foil and the land. I'll draw the land, play it, and then just do gaze end of turn. Not much I can do. That was a disaster. We had to 2-for-1 ourselves to counter one of their edicts, and I think I counter that. They do have another looting in their graveyard, but that's expensive, so just play that. And we can do blind mental node. Yeah. Okay, Cage Nymph. Let's do mental node here for F6 value. Counter spell. Right on time. Awesome. I will not do gaze on my upkeep, I just draw. Wings. Okay. I have things to do. Places to be. Do I want to Thought Scour now? Yes, I do. In case I draw a terror, I can play it. Maybe I don't even play it, you know? I just wait. Okay, a land is not bad, and we mill the terror, of course. I think I play the land in case we drew the other restoration. Remember, we have one more Argivian restoration in our deck. I can use counterspell if they play something that's relevant. I will not counter like small bold stuff. I would just counter something if it kills me, like a Gurmaganga or something. Otherwise, I can just cycle the wings. Wow, that was good. Yeah, Diabolic Edict in their sideboard was really good, and we kind of struggled with our mana. It took a long time for us to find lands. We only saw like 6 lands in the top half of our deck, which is kind of crazy. Okay, the attack here for 4, we go to 8. We cycle this, try to find something. Just cast it, I guess. Okay. Do I want to gaze? I don't think so. We could draw a Argivian Restoration or a Terror. We have 1, 2. We only draw 2 Terrors so far, so I'll naturally draw. Okay, let's scour ourselves. I want to scour them because they have spells with flashback. But I thought I didn't remove them. No, I didn't. Okay. Sure, it's past now. Now the problem is we are at 4 here. I think we're dead. The opponent's deck is not fast, but they had the 2 edicts, and that's just too much. Epicure, I don't think I want to counter it. I'll just gaze and dive to something. Okay, there we go. So I can play the terror. That's not good enough, right? I can... Yeah, I think I need to do this like so. At least I want to do the thing. So I'm going to draw the terror here. Play it, give it flying, and have it die. We are not on board, by the way, but I don't know. I wanted to wanted to do the thing. Let's just let my opponent kill me. I'll just concede the game here. I don't care. It was a good game though. Let's go to the next one. Oh, okay, round number 3 of our league with Mono Blue Reanimator, and this hand is pretty bad. I'm going to mulligan it. No, I want to mulligan again. This is not bad. This is not good at all. Okay, I'm going to give it, and we have a plan on this. Let's put the land on the breath, and just try to mill some spells and play a turn. That's our main game plan. Our opponent keeps 7. They are on green. Elves, Wolves, Elves. Okay. Elves. Is that a good or bad matchup? Probably a bad one, if I had to guess. Gaze. I mean, I think I'm going to Thought Scour first before doing Gaze. Because Gaze we can save it in case we blind draw a Brainstorm, we can do that instead. Okay. Titania. Something else. Yep. Some land wars. Okay. And let's scour ourselves. We draw a Brainstorm and we put a foil in the graveyard. However, I might be thinking, what are you doing, bro? Okay. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Let's pass the turn, hold a counterspell that we don't have. Then we can do Brainstorm, put Gaze and Breath on the top, mill them with Thought Scour, and we will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells. So next turn we can do the thing. Yeah. So they drew Titania and Sentinel. Handmaster. I'm going to Brainstorm in response. Sure. Let's put these 2 on top. Let that resolve. They probably play the Sentinel here. This generates mana, right? Yeah, this generates half a mana. If they have another 1-drop, they can play the Titania, I think. No, they can play any 1-drops they have, but not the Titania. Okay. And now we mill ourselves. They're going super wide here. Okay. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can cast like Careful Study or Brainstorm for free, basically. What do you want to play? Since I have the Simian Spirit Guide, which is pretty bad. Well, I have this Restoration. Now I'm going to do a Study first. Discard this Spirit Guide, probably. Spirit Guide and probably a Study again. We have Brainstorm Mental Note for this card, which is better. Play the lands. Play the Terror, give it haste. This is really bad because it doesn't have evasion at all, but what can we do? Yes. And I think I passed because I shouldn't have put the haste. I'm dumb. You can actually say no to this, so I should have said no. That way I can block anyway, and I don't need the haste. So that was bad. Okay, I don't think I care about this. The only thing I would counter right now would be the only thing I would counter right now is like a lead the Stampede or something like that. This is Distant Melody. Yeah, I need to counter that. Let's try to find a foil and a land. Exactly. No such luck. Spell Pierce here, that does literally nothing. So let's put that on top and the Thought Scour, I think. And just pass the turn, let them be. We drew like 5 million cards. This is probably lost already. Yeah, they drew 8 cards, that's so much. Yeah, I'm going to concede here. There is no reason to play this game anymore. I can't come back from this. Not knowing, we know the top of our deck and we know we can't beat that, so let's bring the counterspell in. Fire Golem maybe, Lever of Secrets maybe. I think we need to put pressure on them. The Goliath is good, the reanimation is good. So what do we got? Probably Spirit Guides, maybe not the Golems, those are very slow. So let's cut the Spirit Guides and Careful Study. Gaze is also pretty slow. We need to cut one more thing. I feel like Breath is bad. Something like that. You could even cut another Breath for Gaze or Study. Now I'm going to get one Study. We don't care about card advantage in this matchup, so it's fine to have it. This is about countering their key spells, basically. Okay, this is not bad. We have Careful Study, Restoration. We can do turn 2 Crab, and if we find a land, we can reanimate it. Skip it. Okay, my opponent plays just percentage on passes. Okay. Next turn we can do just Crab. And we find the land, so we can actually reanimate turn 3. We're doing our thing, but I don't know if that's enough. Like a 5-7 is big, but it doesn't put enough pressure, I don't think. Time will tell, right? We can counter here a key Elf and maybe just make them stumble like one turn, and that may be good enough for us. Elvish Vanguard, that's so lame. I don't even want to counter that thing, but it's like I don't care about that spell really, but I want to counter it to put the Crab into the graveyard, which is funny. Okay, they get in for 1. Now we can play the land and restore our Crab. Yes, I'll do that. Boom. Get a chunker into play. 5-7. Try to kill it if you can. Yep. It also has War 3, so it's very difficult for them to target it. Now the problem is we're against a deck that's linear also, but oh my god, so much linear than us, so it's going to be rough. I thought that this guy had horns. It's the hair. Awesome. Oh, they play a Priest of Titania, which is something I wanted to counter, but whatever. Okay, now we don't fight for mana, we fight for card draw basically. Can I play a Terror this turn? I think so, but I want to call Counterspell, so I'm actually going to just attack with the Crab and pass, and end of turn do mill if I don't use the Counterspell. The reason for that is that we don't have selection so far, we don't have Brainstorm, we do have Careful Study, but if we don't find a land in the top 2, then it's a bit difficult for us to play Counterspell, and we don't have anything that we want to discard anyway. I want to mill things that make Terror better. We have 1, and with this is 3. We need to mill other 3 spells for that to be playable, but also we need to find a land, which is more or less the same odds. So Again, I don't fight anymore for mana, I fight for card draw here. You have all the mana in the world, just don't draw more cards. Winding Way, that's card draw, I'm going to counter that. I don't want you to draw cards, no. Bad Elves player. They could multi-block here if they want to. I don't know if they want to do that, right? I'm just killing everything if they do that. Okay, I have a mental and a spell pierce, so let's start with mental note. Okay, we find 2 creatures. Well, spell pierce is actually dead, right? So let's do careful study. We have the spell pierce to discard. Spell pierce and the crab, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, mental. Play the scary. Attack. If they block, I just kill like, how many creatures? I kill like all of these 3. Yeah, I don't think they will multi-block here. They can if they want, but I don't think it's good. Yeah. So they go to 10 now. Next turn I can for sure play a Tolarian Terror. Sentinel. They play the full 4? I thought that it was more like a 1-off or 2-off. I'm out of touch with Elves. I don't know if they have been putting a lot of results either. Oh my god, really? Oh no, that's so lucky. Yeah, we lost. That's so sad. They had to have that card in specific. Timberwatch. Yeah, this is lost. It's not that we could have countered because they had infinite mana and our counters were the soft counters. We had the crab and the spell pierce that do nothing, you know. Just pass the turn around. There are a couple of chances, I think. In this turn and this turn only. We need to find Dragon Breath and Rust Goliath. And Reanimated somehow. We mill the dragon. We don't have Dragon Breath, so probably not good enough. They drew more cards. Well, so only Birchlord and Quirion. Okay. They don't attack, which is interesting. Okay, land. We just mental notes. Counter spell and foil. Okay. Let's use this. Thought scour ourselves. Another mental note. Okay, just play the tarot here. Play it scary. Attack for 5, maybe they forget to block. The thing is, we're dead on board, so just concede, I guess. Yeah, that was bad. Let's just review the deck. I think that I never actually wanted to draw the spirit guides, so maybe we just need to cut them. So I will do this. Do this. I don't have 4, but imagine we have 4 scary. Just put that. There we go. Something like that, maybe. 20 lands is a lot though. We can cut that and maybe add like a cantrip or something. Like a ponder. Yeah, maybe like something like that. Just 2 ponders. Wait, let's put the cool ponder. Okay, so something like that, I think it would be better. Ponder are also good to set up our delvers, good with mental note or thought scour. Other option is to have consider here, another consideration, if you will. The auras were good, but situation good, so I don't think I want to go up on them. I think having 1 Dragon Wings is good, just an out to find sometimes where you are on the defensive. And again, flinging one of them with flying and and haste is super important or super good. Restoration was a bit clunky, 4 mana is a lot, but the upside of being mono blue is that you can play like all of these really good spells and not having any problems with the mana in theory. We had a couple of problems with mana. I think that going up in mana and down on Lotus Petal or the Spirit Guide is good. I think the Scaries are great, but sometimes you need the untapped mana, so we need to find the correct split here. For the rest, you want to have islands. You don't need more value lands, I don't think. And the gazes were good, though it's low, which is crazy to say for a 1 mana spell, but it can also help do this or help with the Delver of Secrets post board. I think I liked more or less the idea of the deck. Maybe we can try to build a mono blue deck without the Argivian Restoration and with the dragon things, the dragon auras. That's an interesting proposition, right? You're already milling yourself, so trying to put those in with foil, that could be a great way of just putting pressure on your opponent. You already play in mono blue terror. Let me just quickly go fetch the deck. Okay, so something like this is mono blue terror, right? So what we can actually do is change the discard outlets from the Modern Age to foil, remove a couple of the one-offs like Dispel, maybe lose focus, and just put something like this, 2 foils, and maybe another Worldly Gaze as additional ways of putting things into the graveyard. I always write this wrong. Oh my god, my computer is super slow. Okay, something like that. They're putting this in, something like this. And add Dragon Breath. Maybe this is better for the blue-black deck. Maybe something like this, you know. I think foil is awesome. It's awesome if you can support it, and having like 3 or 4 things you want to discard, like Deep Analysis, Dragon Breath, Otherworldly Gaze. That's good, you know. Maybe your first Stranding Inventory, also good to discard. And then recouping that card advantage with that, or just having something that's useful, that puts some amount of pressure, that just gives you card selection later in the game. That can be a good addition to the deck. Another idea I have is to change blue-black terror. Let me find that deck real quick. So something like this is blue-black terror, right? So what we can actually do, since all of these are islands, is to play foil, right? And probably remove the Phalanges, play like a couple of foils, otherworldly. Remove like these spells since foil fields not roll very well. Maybe 1 or 2 of those. And like 1 island, I think 17 is fine. And play like Dragon Breath. I think 3 Deep Analysis with foil is a good idea. Dragon Breath and Dragon Wings. Something like this I would like to try sometime, because you're still depending on your threats to live, the same way that you expect unexpected funds to resolve and that you will be able to protect your creature. Otherwise, unexpected funds would be awful, right? So the idea of having a bit more oomph on the threats, you know, giving it haste or giving it flying, I think that's good. Dragon Wings having cycling means that it's just basically free to put in your deck. Something else to foil, you have all of these spells to foil, to discard to foil, which is fine. The same thing goes for Otherworldly Gaze, things you want to mill, or Mental Note for Scour. You are still milling a lot of your deck, so having access to that may be interesting or something to test. I don't know if anyone has done that yet. Foil historically has been really good. If you remember the times of Blue-Black Delver, having access to days, foil, gush, and all that. That was great. Here you have access to foil with deep analysis, and that's a nice sequence. You can counter all of your opponent's stuff, 3 for 1 in yourself, but then getting back the cards from deep analysis. It's kind of, and in that exchange you already paid like 2 mana and 3 life. So that's really good. So I will try to test something like this, which is a bit more all in your creatures, but you have foil to protect them, in addition to counter spell, to spell pierce. Having access to flying or haste can be important, so maybe testing that out. There is also other dragon enchantments, let me find them. There we go. We also have access to Dragon Fangs, which gives trample, which might be important, and +1/+1, which is also important. Dragon Shadow, which gives fear, so it makes it very unblockable, basically. And this, which gives +1/+2, which is a lot, and gives vigilance. So maybe testing those out could be interesting. I think that at least I would like to test 1 Dragon Wings or 2. Flying is always good. It's something to discard, and if it's in your hand, you can just cycle it. I think that makes it a bit better. Maybe even if you don't want to play foil or gaze, you know, if you want to be a bit more safe, you can just change those back into dispels and Phalange Archaeologist, and then play a couple of Dragon Wings just to make your terrors and anglers go over the threats, right? Similarly, Dragon Shadow gives a good evasion, but I don't really care about fear. I prefer to have flying because it's better at blocking, and also it's something that you can cycle. It's on color, so you can just hardcast it too if you need it, right? If you have your Phalange and you need to block your fairies, you can just cast it for 2 mana and give it flying. That's awful, of course, it's hideous, but something you can do, you know? It's more flexibility, it's just upside. So I think overall, those are my thoughts. I was pretty impressed with a couple of things we saw in the... A couple of things we saw here in this deck. We saw foil being very playable. We saw having access to a lot of mill and things to mill that we were happy to mill, like All Worldly Gaze, the Dragon enchantments and all that. We saw the Crab being a solid counterspell, and the Cyber Plan being also pretty good at jugging our opponent. They are also going to always be on the removal plan if we are playing Reanimator. So maybe instead of jugging into mono blue Delver, we can jug into mono blue mill. We can play like Jace's Erasure and just Jace's Erasure and Whirlpool Rider. Let me show it. Into Whirlpool Rider, and that's a nice combo because this with Jace's Erasure means that you are shuffling all your cards and drawing that many cards, so you mill for that many cards if you have Jace's Erasure in play. So you can put this Mal the Mixture and Jace's Erasure in your sideboard, and then just remove like all of the reanimation package, all of these out, and you bring in the mill plan. You know, that's another juke you can do. Maybe with deep analysis in the sideboard, so you have something else to fill your hand, because that's important for that kind of deck. So yeah, there are a couple of things to play around here. I think it's a fun deck, and I hope you enjoyed the games, even if we lost a couple. I knew we were going to be on a positive record with this junk fest of a deck, but it was interesting nonetheless. I found a couple of interesting cards and design decisions in the deck too, so that was pretty interesting. Thank you so much for watching, see you next time, bye.